Well, one of the focus of the debates around the success of the Chinese has been around selective schools and senior high schools. That there's a perception, quite justified, that the numbers of students of Chinese background in particular have increased.
I think somewhere like Sydney Boys High School has been really interesting from this point of view, because that was a school which took a lot of middle class Anglo kids for a very long time, and gradually the demographic has shifted.
At Sydney Boys High, the children of migrants now dominate enrolment. Of the 180 students accepted into Year 7 this year, 133 were from non-English speaking backgrounds, and of those, 87 were Chinese. As a school with a long history of sporting success, the students' on-field performance has come under scrutiny.
You might remember a few years ago, one of the elite government schools in Sydney was worried about the increasing numbers of Asian students as a whole, meaning that they could no longer field a rugby union team. So there was a perception that the increasing numerical dominance of Chinese students brought with a changing ethos where the focus was only on academic work at the expense of traditional Australian values around sport.
And that's seen as letting down, or has been seen, especially by some old scholars, as letting down the school tradition. So that's when the arguments go, oh, right, there's unnecessary pressure on the kids to achieve to get into those places.
One of the ironies of the success of Asian students in Australia has been that 20 or 30 years ago, there was a perception that these students would be the most unassimilable people that we have. In fact, 20 years down the track, what we've seen is that they have become perhaps the most assimilable migrants we've ever had. They are, relatively speaking, educationally, economically successful. They have adapted well to Australia, and we are now going through a process where, in fact, their success for some people has become a source of anxiety.